change the PPR, you'll press the blue button on the back of the hour meter. Press it one time, it's the default 1.0. Press it a second time, it's 2.0. And the third press goes to 0.5. At this point you can just let it run through its cycle. It'll show you the other defaults, how they're set up, and then we'll eventually go back to the hour meter and it's set at 0.5 PPR at that point. This is the coil and cap style shown here. This is your coil, which is one piece built into the spark plug cap. Normally your sensor wire would go on this wire, but on the coil and cap style it has to be after the coil to be effective and pick up the pulse coming through the coil. So you'll wrap 3 or 4 loops around this part of the rubber boot after the coil or downstream from the coil, and that will ensure that you're getting a solid signal. For the conventional coil setup where the coil is mounted to the frame and then the spark plug wire leads to the spark plug cap, you'll want to wrap the sensor wire around the spark plug wire. And we recommend wrapping it at least 5 times. You can go more, but a minimum of 5 to ensure that you're picking up the pulse coming through the spark plug wire. Here I'm just wrapping the wire around. There's about 5 loops there. You can bring the wire back, and then you'll want to use a zip tie to tie the wire back to itself. You do want to make sure that at this point that the wires are snug against the spark plug wire. You need a tight fit. You can compress the coils closer to the cap just to make sure that everything is good. You'll want to tighten the zip tie. Just make sure that the wire is tight at this point. Once the zip tie is tight, you can go ahead and I'm just going to cut off the extra hair wire and then trim the zip tie just to clean up the install. You can go ahead and seal off the end of the sensor wire using blue Loctite. You can also use silicone. Just keep water out of that area. At this point, we recommend when you do the install to leave the wire without cutting the wire. Just leave it long. You can cut the wire. If you do cut the wire for your application, you just need to really make sure you're careful when you cut the outer black sleeve, because any damage to the red sensor wire can affect how the meter operates, or will it operate at all. Here I left the wire long. I'm just going to coil the additional wire. I'm going to go ahead and just tie a zip tie down to the additional wire harness. It's down, tucked out of the way. You want to just make sure the sensor wire is clear of the tank and won't interfere with anything. Our tach hour meter comes complete with a die-cut adhesive double stick tape. If you are using the peel and stick method, you'll notice that it has a couple additional holes in the back, and that's to get access to the PPR or the blue button setting. At this point though, you already have that PPR set. You will definitely need to have it set before you attach the meter to the frame, or else you won't have access to the PPR or the blue button. Go ahead and pick a nice flat spot on the frame, wherever location is inside or whatever is easy, convenient to see. You want to clean any oils or greases with some contact cleaner. Stick the tape on the back and give it a good press. You'll want to put some pressure on it, make sure it's going to stay in place. You also supply these little black clips that will clip in over the holes. They'll basically fill in the gap here for the holes if you're using the peel and stick method. You want to take care when you're using peel and stick. If you're pressure washing, you don't want to get the tip of the pressure washer too close. You can peel it up with the pressure washer if you're not being careful. So just a little caution. We also sell a custom little tach hour meter mount that we've specifically made just for our tach hour meter. It's machined out of aluminum, made to work on any 6mm bolt. In this particular application, this is on a 2010 CRF 250. I'm going to go ahead and install it right in front of the gas tank using the stock gas tank mounting bolt. It's a good location. You can see the tach for tuning purposes, and it's easy to keep an eye on. Go ahead and just snug this up here. Just I want to line it up, kind of 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, just make sure it's kind of straight before I tighten it up. Give it a little snug. Now the hour meter, we also provide the screws that come with the hour meter mount. So using those screws, the bracket is threaded, real easy to install. Just Phillips screwdriver, just snug up the first screw, just line everything up. The screws don't need to be real tight, they just need to be snug. You don't want to overdo it. It is just a plastic casing, so just snug up each screw a little bit, and you're off and running. Thanks for watching.